What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, and my name is Form. You probably got that from last video you watched. Today we're going to go over StreamLabs, and this is going to be your, as quick as I can make it, beginner guide to using StreamLabs on your desktop in order to create your scenes, add your sources, make sure your audio is added correctly, and kind of give you other kind of tips and tricks that I've learned along the way. And this is going to be exactly for those beginners that are just getting going, or maybe you've used StreamLabs for a little bit, but you don't know certain things and how to do them. So I'll go over those quickly today. So why don't we dive right in? We got a lot to go over, so let's go right now. Boom. All right, welcome back in, everybody, to StreamLabs. All right, so if this is your first time opening StreamLabs, that's fine. It's okay. Everything's gonna be all right. You don't have to worry. I know it looks complicated. It looks very bare when you first open it up. This is a brand new StreamLabs program that I've opened up. I'm not even logged into any accounts, so this is exactly what it's gonna look like when you first get it in. When you first open up the program. Now, you will want to log in. You can log in with whatever platform you use, whether it's Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook. Now in StreamLabs, you have three main things that you got to focus on to get everything going. You have your scenes here down on the left, you have your sources here in the middle, and you have your mixer, which is all your audio on the right. In this little section that says mini feed, this is what's going to pop up your activity when you are live or linked to your Twitch or YouTube or Facebook account. It'll show you all your follows, your likes, your subs, your bits, and all that kind of stuff right here. For the purpose of this video, though, we'll just minimize that. Up here is going to be your preview screen. So this black square is where you're going to see everything that you need to put on your stream. Whatever is on that screen, whatever's on there, that black within those borders is what people are going to see online when you're streaming live. So first thing is first is the scenes. So scenes, very simple. You can put as many scenes as you want. A lot of people have just chatting screens where it's just their face, or their face that's bigger with the chat on the side, or you can have scenes for a different thing part of your stream. If you have something where you're in an airplane and you have an airplane as your background as a picture, that could be a scene. So you could put literally everything as a scene. Usually the main ones that people have are starting screens. So the stream is starting soon, so you have something like that. Be right back one, a stream ending perhaps, and like I said, just chatting, and obviously while you're in a game or while you're doing your main thing, your main screen that you're going to be using. Everything in that scene is customizable, so don't worry about that. For now, you can see here there's one scene. So there's already one scene created. There's nothing on it because we haven't put anything on it. But if you wanted to add more scenes, it's very simple. You hit the plus. You can name the scene whatever you want. You can do scene 1. You could do just chatting. So let's do it just chatting. You add it, and there it is. If you want to remove a scene, simple, you hit the little minus. Now, within the scene section, what you want to do is going in between scenes. You can put a transition. There's a lot of transitions that are already in StreamLabs, but you can also create your own and input them yourself. What you want to do is you hit this little cogwheel. This is for the scene transition. So when you hit this cogwheel, you're going to have this screen pop up. It's going to say a global transition right now, a cut. So it just goes straight to the scene, and there's no actual like fading in or twirling out or anything like that. Now you can go here and edit this. You can change this one to whatever you want. So you can have a fade, swipe, slide, fade to color, luma wipe, or motion. What stinger means is actually the one you want to use if you want to put your own custom stinger transition in here. So for me, for example, when I change scenes in my stream, there's a little transition that comes up with my logo and hexagons, and it's all that kind of fancy stuff that I have no clue how to make myself. That being said, if you are, or if you want to pay someone to do it for you, perfect. You just come in here, you hit the browse button, you find the file on your computer, and you add it. You can add a delay from when the scene actually goes on to the next scene that you're changing to before your transition is over. Just make it match perfectly. And then you can also monitor the sound that's part of your transition if there is sound, and you can put a fade out, fade in type thing. So just remember that you can already choose these. So your stream right off the bat can have this cool transition effect rather than just cutting to the scene by putting a simple fade, swipe, slide, or something like that, or a fade to color. Now you can, like I said, pick the stinger option to put your own custom transition in there by just simply collecting this, browse, and then getting the file off of your computer. And you could literally make this out of anything. You could take an image, put an effect on it in some form of video illustrator design program, or you can go buy some online. You can actually download some free ones off online as well and add those to your stream, so that it's a little bit more customized and more personalized than just a simple cut. So you can add as many transitions as you want. You can use different kinds, but just remember, hit the editor, the little crayon button, to change what it is and what you want on it. So that's the scenes, and honestly, it's that simple. You can add, look, I can add another one. I could say starting soon, and then boom, done. So this one's starting soon. When I'm live, I'm going to be in my scene, and then when I'm just chatting in between game lobbies or something like that, I'll be in my just chatting one. So that way my camera is bigger, for example, and they can see me more, and it's a little less intrusive where there's no game and they're just, you know, they can get to see you more, which I think is the benefit of being a streamer. You can make yourself larger on your camera and they can be a little bit more connected to you. So now you have to add things in your scenes. So for example, scene 1, you know, you got here, there's the selective recording and all that kind of add group of these buttons you don't really need to worry about right now. What you need to worry about is this little plus again, of course. You add a source. Now, when you click that button, you're going to have a few different options. By a few, I mean a lot. So you're going to have essential sources. So StreamLabs put the essential ones up here that a lot of people use. So media sources, these can be MP4 files, MOV files, MP3. So these can be sounds, GIFs, WebM files. They could be a little MP4. So if your background has animation to it, it'll most likely be an MP4 file or maybe an MOV. In my experience, StreamLabs doesn't like MOV files. They like WebM files a little bit more. It just works better. So just be careful of that. But you can put a video capture device. So this could be a webcam. This could be a capture card. For example, I'm running a dual PC setup. So my PC is linked via capture card to my streaming PC. So again, webcams, all that kind of stuff. And screen capture, obviously you can capture your screen. Now, there are different options for StreamLabs to capture your display. Like I said, video capture device will be a capture card for your display if you're using maybe a console or a second PC. Now, you want screen capture, or down here in the general sources, now these are like less used, I guess you can say, but still very important, your display capture. I like display capture because it can choose which monitor. If you have multiple monitors, you know, you can choose primary, secondary. I just think it works a bit better. So display capture, screen capture is what you're going to want. I'm going to hit display capture here, and I'm going to add source, and I'll just name it display capture. So it automatically picks up. I only have one monitor hooked up to this PC, so it automatically picks it up. So when I go to done, there is my monitor. What you want to make sure is when you're adding sources, you're adding the right thing. So you can add images, you can add a browser source. So if there's different things such as alerts or certain GIFs that are playing via browser sources, which are URLs, links online, you can do that. There's a whole bunch of different things here that you want to add for your sources. Now, what you're going to actually see on your stream is what, like I said, you're going to see in the square. So you can do anything. You can add an image. If you've created your own logo, you want to put your logo on here, put an image. If it's a moving logo, you're going to want to put media source, right? An MP4, an MOV or something like that, a WebM file, a GIF, like I mentioned. So all these things are here. When you are logged into your account, you'll have widgets. So for Twitch, for example, you have your alert box, your chat box, stream labels, which can be, you know, recent donations or top sub gifters or new sub, for example, and that text will show up on your stream. In general, it'll just kind of capture the general ones and of course widgets there. So you have all general and widgets, and StreamLabs recently just changed this. So some of the videos out there don't have this updated information. So another reason why I'm doing this for you guys today. So you can put a whole bunch of different things here. And I think what you need to know is that you need to make sure you have your display capture. You need to make sure you have your webcam if you have one, which I suggest you do, but not everyone does. And then after that, you want to do some audio. So your audio input capture, but that'll be explained in the mixer portion of this part. Widgets are fine. They can be anything you want to put on there. So just make sure that you add everything you need, and then you'll learn as you go and watch other streams of what you want to put in and how you can change your own stream look as well. One thing people don't realize right off the bat is how you list your sources will depict how they look on your stream. For example, I'm going to add a couple images here I have. Now, these are not images I would put on my own stream, but for the purpose of this video, I think they fit very well. So I'm going to add 2 images. Now, because I'm adding an image, if it's named the same, you can add the same image multiple times. So on different scenes, for example, or you can add it new. I'm going to add new, it's named differently. And now I have 2 different images on my scene, right? There you go. Now, for just your information, if you want to go to a different scene, you can click the different scene and you can add all your sources. Say I wanted to add the display capture again that I have on my main scene, but I wanted to add it again. You simply hit display capture. It'll have it already there because it's already a source within your StreamLabs scenes, and you can just simply add source and it'll pop up again. And to remove, simply hit the minus and OK. How I mentioned, listing the scenes here, listing the sources will actually depict how they look on your stream. The image 1 is over image 2. So if I bring this closer to the image, it'll actually cover the image, right? So if I don't want that, say you're trying to layer things properly to make them look the right way, and you actually wanted this guy, Larry, to be over this guy, Doug, well, all you have to do is take your one that you want below and just drag it below, and then all of a sudden they've switched here down here. So what that means is now Larry's covering Doug, and Doug's not too happy about it. So this is used often when you're trying to layer webcam with webcam frames, with your logo, with certain titles, certain images. If you want to put an image on the corner of your webcam frame, but you don't want it to be hidden behind it, you want to make sure that it's layered properly here. For example, if I wanted my display in front of everything here for some reason, I would just drag it to the top and it covers everything. So whatever's at the top of your source list here, near the top, is going to be on the front, the closest, the front of the display to the stream. So as you drag these back over, they all of a sudden pop back through over what is behind it, and that goes by this list here. Very simple, very, very useful, but not a lot of people realize that when they're first using StreamLabs. The last little section down here, your mixer, your audio. Your audio is going to be different for every single person, just like your sources and your scenes. However, audio is super important to get down properly. When you open StreamLabs, it'll have desktop audio. If you're just using one computer, or you perhaps are streaming from a laptop using StreamLabs, it's the same thing. You'll have desktop audio, and that will capture everything that's playing on your computer. So your music, your YouTube, your game, and all that kind of stuff. And you'll just have to potentially reduce that, or maybe put some filters on it if you ever wanted to do that. Each audio source can be added individually, and each source is added under sources here. So when you want to add an audio source, so for example, say you want to add your microphone, right? It doesn't have microphone here in general sources. However, it does have audio input capture. When you hit this, built-in microphones, USB microphones, other USB devices. So for example, I have a Go XLR to use for my audio system, my audio setup. So I'm going to hit audio input capture for myself, and then I'm going to choose my Go XLR, which captures all of my audio, and that's the source that I'm going to have in my own StreamLabs to make my microphone work, to have everything from my game sound to my music into my Discord chats and all that kind of stuff captured. But the Go XLR is a different monster, and I do have videos on that, so make sure you check those out if you want to. Now, if I'm just adding my microphone, whether it's a Blue Yeti or a Snowball or just a Hyper Quad Hyper X Quad Master Pro 75,000, whatever microphone you have, you can add it as an audio input capture. So you're just going to go audio input capture, and you're going to name it whatever you want. I can name it Blue Yeti mic. When you do this, you can add whatever microphone. So if you have a Blue Yeti, it'll show up as Blue Yeti microphone, USB microphone, whatever you have plugged into your computer will show up. You'll choose that one appropriately. You can sync offset your audio. Now, not a lot of people know this, but if you've ever watched a stream where the person's voice is delayed from their audio, or from their video, sorry, rather, it can be changed, it can be adjusted. I've had to do this in the past. So what I wanted to do is just literally delay my audio to match my flips and match my movements in my video and my webcam, and you can do that here in the sync offset. So not a lot of people know that. What you can also do here is you can choose to monitor and output your microphone. So if you'd like to hear yourself, you can choose to do that here in the audio monitoring system here, and that'll be done there. So that's as simple as it is to adding your microphone. So you add audio input device, and then it shows up on your mixer, and it also shows up in your sources. Do not remove it from here or from the mixer, as it will remove it completely, and then you'll have no microphone to actually be captured. You don't have to change anything in here unless you really need to. Microphones can be a little bit notorious for needing filters on StreamLabs depending on what microphone you have. So if you need to, you can just simply hit the cogwheel for the actual source, and you can go filters, and you can go edit filters. Now here, there's a ton of filters from gain, noise suppression, compressor, limiter, expander on StreamLabs. So you can add filters if you wish. However, you need to review your stream or hear yourself while you're using your microphone on StreamLabs to make sure that your audio is correctly balanced between yourself, your chat, and your desktop audio, which is your game and your music and all that kind of stuff. Now you can change this by every scene you take, every scene you have. You can go in there and customize it appropriately. So what we've reviewed so far quickly, the scenes, add as many scenes as you want, name them what you want. It's just so that you have a list of them, and each one can be completely different from the next. You're going to want to hit the plus to add one, the minus to remove one, and the cogwheel is for your transitions. Remember that. Your sources in the middle here, you're going to add all your sources from your media sources, which are MP4, MOV, WebM files, GIFs, for example, MP3. So you have music, if you have a song that you like to play, something like that, you add that there. Your video capture device, so webcams and capture cards, most likely. Screen capture, display capture for what is being played on your screen. And if you need to, say you're on console, you're going to be doing the capture card for your display and your audio. So you want to add a video capture device, and then your audio input capture will be your capture card for your console to make sure your audio is being captured properly. But down here, you can add a text if you wanted to. So if I wanted to add a text, I can add a text, and in here, I can type whatever I want. Welcome to YouTube. And you can change the font style, you can change the font, whatever you want. You can change the color even if you wanted to. You hit done and it'll show up here, and you can change the sizing of it all and all that good stuff. And you can put it anywhere you want. Now just remember, if I wanted it behind Larry but in front of Doug, I'm going to just drag it behind Larry, which is image. Now you can see that it is being covered by Larry, but not by Doug. Very, very useful to know. Now, one thing I want to let you guys know is when you're resizing things on StreamLabs, there's a fun thing that I've never really kind of understood, but is very, very useful. When you're trying to resize, you can use the corners, you can use the sides, but when you use the side, the whole image goes in. But for example, my camera right now is actually cut in on the top, bottom, left, and the right side to make sure that it just fits properly for the purpose of this video. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to hold the Alt button on your keyboard, and you're going to drag in side by side if you just want to drag in each individual side at one time. So this way you can get just the image you want in the shot. And then if you ever wanted to undo that, well, you just hold Alt, go to the sides, and drag them out to expand the image to its original size. Or you can just hit Control Z, and that undoes your recent change, modification. So that can be done with anything, and even your display capture. If you just want to display, say you have Discord up and you just want to display a certain part of your Discord and hide all of the members lists or other private conversations, you just hold the Alt button, drag it in on the sides, and make sure just the middle of your screen is being captured, and you can just drag it back to make sure it's full size again. So that's something useful. So simply holding the Alt button while you're resizing all your images or anything, you can do that very quickly. When you are logged into Twitch, for example, you're going to have a lot more different options here on the side within StreamLabs. What you're going to see is you're going to see something for your alert box library. You're going to see something for your themes. You're going to see something for an app store. So, and then you're going to have a grow section, and then something new they just recently added was a highlighter. So you're going to have different options within StreamLabs. Those are in them of themselves different tools within StreamLabs that you can use. However, they are not needed to get your scene sources and your audio set up and your stream looking the way you want it to, and then simply going live and doing that properly. Okay. Now, what you can use are the themes. A lot of people don't have these fancy overlays when they first start. They haven't made them themselves, and they don't want to pay money to do so to get them from Fiverr, for example. Overlays add a little bit of character, personality, your own self within your stream. I think anyone should have them. There are a lot of top streamers that don't use overlays, and props to them, but they've been around in the game for a long time. So you got to be unique nowadays, in my personal opinion. So when you hit the themes on the StreamLabs program, it'll be looking like a little bit of a pencil with a ruler over top of it. When you hit that, all you want to do is search free in the search bar, for your overlays, and it'll actually give you all the free overlays they have to offer. And now you could also find free overlays online, I believe. However, not a lot of programs do that. You can buy some from things such as Nerd or Die or Owned, and those places will offer you those. The problem with these free overlays is you'll probably see them around Twitch or YouTube or Facebook. Other people will be using them, so you want to be unique. So what I did after I, kind of streamed for a little while was I created my own. So if you do ever come to my Twitch, which we are live every Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern, and Fridays at 1 p.m. Eastern. If you ever stop into the stream, you'll see my overlays, and I've actually created all of those myself. So it takes a little bit of time, but it allows you to be creative, unique, and add your own touch to your own stream, and I think everyone should want to do that. All right, guys, so that covers the very beginnings of your StreamLabs experience. StreamLabs is very, very useful. They say that it's sometimes a little bit more harsh on your CPU usage rather than something like OBS. However, OBS is a little bit more complicated in my opinion. Again, just my opinion. I've used StreamLabs since I started streaming back in 2020, and I've never switched. I've never had any issues with it. I've always been able to add things and get my stream the way I want it to be. But if you have any questions, like I said, put them in the comments. Make sure you like the video. That's how we get seen here on YouTube. And this is obviously just the beginnings of the channel, but I think this video will be useful for some time to come. And again, any questions that I didn't cover, let me know, and we'll catch you next time. All right, guys? Thank you so much.